Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 2, Prayers by the Demigods, Text 15. Garbe Pranite Devakya Garbhe Pranite Devakya Rohinim Yoga Nidraya Rohinim Yoga Nidraya Aho Visramsitaha Garbha Aho Visramsito Garbha Iti Pauraha Vichukrushuhu Iti Paura Vichukrushuhu Garbe Pranite Devakya Rohinim Yoga Nidraya Oho Visramsito Garbha Iti Paura Vichukrushuhu Garbe Pranite Devakya Rohinim Yoga Nidraya Oho Visramsito Garbha Iti Paura Vichukrushuhu. Garbhe, when the embryo, Pranite, was carried from the womb, Devakya of Devaki, Rohini, to the womb of Rohini, Yoga Nidraya, by the spiritual energy called Yogamaya. Aho, alas, Visramsitaha is lost. Garpaha, the embryo. Iti, thus, Pauraha, all the inhabitants of the house. Vichukrushuhu, lamented. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhai Charanaravinda, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. When the child of Devaki was attracted and transferred into the womb of Rohini by Yogamaya, Devaki seemed to have a miscarriage. Thus, all the inhabitants of the palace loudly lamented, "Alas, Devaki has lost her child." Let me repeat the translation. When the child of Devaki was attracted and transferred into the womb of Rohini by Yogamaya, Devaki seemed to have a miscarriage. Thus, all the inhabitants of the palace loudly lamented, "Alas, Devaki has lost her child." Purport. All the inhabitants of the palace includes Kamsa. When everyone lamented, Kamsa joined in compassion, thinking that perhaps because of drugs or some other external means, Devaki had undergone this abortion. The real story of what happened after Yogamaya attracted the child of Devaki into the womb of Rohini in the seventh month of Rohini's pregnancy is described as follows in the Hari Vamsha. At midnight, while Rohini was deeply sleeping, she experienced, as if in a dream, that she had undergone a miscarriage. After some time, when she awoke, she saw that this had indeed happened, and she was in great anxiety. But Yogamaya then informed her, "Oh, auspicious lady, your child is now being replaced. I am attracting a child from the womb of Devaki, and therefore your child will be known as Sankarshana." The word Yoga Nidra is significant. When one is spiritually reconnected through self realization, one regards his material life as having been like a dream. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.69, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Samyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyato Mune. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self controlled. And the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. The stage of self realization is called Yoga Nidra. All material activities appear to be a dream when one is spiritually awakened. Thus, Yoga Nidra may be explained to be Yoga Maya. Thus ends the Bhaktivinoda purport and translation to Canto 10, Chapter 2, Text 15 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Shukadeva Goswami continuing the description of the prayers offered by the demigods. When Lord Krishna was in the womb of Devaki. So the events leading to the birth of Lord Krishna from the womb of Mother Devaki is being narrated here. And in today's description, just before Krishna's appearing in Mother Devaki's womb, what happened is being described here. When Mother Devaki had her seventh pregnancy, what happened is what this verse describes. Garbhe pranite devakya rohinim yoga nidraya. Garbhe pranite devakya. When the embryo from Devakya pranite, from the womb of Mother Devaki, was drawn or transferred to Rohini, to the womb of Mother Rohini. So, who transferred the child from the womb of Mother Devaki to the womb of Mother Rohini? Yoga Nidraya, by Yogamaya. So, Yogamaya transferred, made this transfer possible. Exchanging the child from one mother to the other mother's womb. It's not an easy thing. Anyway, when this happened, then iti paura vichukrushuhu. Paura means the inhabitants of the palace. This is in Mathura. Vichukrushuhu, they lamented. Aho, alas, visramsito garbha. Devaki has undergone a miscarriage, and the seventh pregnancy is declared a miscarriage, and the child is lost or dead. That's what they thought. Actually, nobody understood what actually happened. It was Yogamaya who actually transferred the child carefully from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini, but nobody could understand what was going on. But what they could only see externally is there was a miscarriage, as observed by the people in the palace. And they thought the child is lost. So they all thought that maybe by some uh, consumption of some drugs or some external means, Devaki had undergone abortion. Actually, that was not true. She didn't undergo any abortion. Abortion is considered sinful as per the Vedic standard. So Devaki will never attempt to do abortion. Why will she attempt to do that? So in the Hari Vamsha, Prabhupada quotes very nicely what actually happened. When Mother Rohini was sleeping, she had a dream. In the dream, she experienced that she also underwent a miscarriage. As the people in Mathura thought Devaki underwent a miscarriage, Rohini thought she also underwent a miscarriage. When she awoke, she was surprised to know it was actually true. In the case of Rohini, it was actually true that she underwent a miscarriage, not in the case of Devaki. So after this happened, Yogamaya, she personally appeared to Mother Rohini and informed her, "My dear mother, O auspicious lady, don't worry, your child is being replaced. That's all. So I am attracting one more child from the womb of Devaki to your womb. And because I am drawing the child from Devaki's womb, Your child will be called Sankarshana. Akarshana means to attract. Samkarshana means to, you know, attract the child from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. That's why it's called Sankarshana. These are all divine transcendental dynamics, and it is very difficult for a common man to comprehend or understand all these things. We have to accept these matters as a matter of fact. That's all. There is no meaning in conducting research into these statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. Achintya khalu ye bhava natam starkena yojayet. It is described in the Vedic literatures. Achintya khalu ye bhava. Whatever is achintya or inconceivable for tiny human minds. Ye khalu bhava. Whichever is inconceivable. Natam starkena yojayet. Do not try to understand it by argument, logic. Try to debate such subject matters. Don't try and waste your time. You will never come to the conclusion. You have to accept there are things which are called achintya. That is why Krishna has got another name called Adokshaja. Prabhupada explains one place. Adokshaja means one who is beyond the understanding of material knowledge, beyond the scope of material learning, material knowledge. Adokshaja. Adokshaja means Adha Akshaja. If you see in our alphabetical learning, A to Ksha, A, I, E, U, all these things you put up to Ksha. That means all our material learning can be compressed, is contained within this A, I, E and Kaka, Gaganya. That's all. Our entire material learning is contained within these few alphabets. We are trying to understand the Lord who is unlimited, who is beyond the alphabetical scope. We are trying to understand Krishna within alphabetical scope. How foolish it is. And Krishna is beyond alphabetical scope. He is not understandable by poetry, prose, academic knowledge. Not possible. That's why it's called Adokshaja. One who is beyond the scope of A, I, E and Kaka, Gaganya. It's called Adokshaja. Then what is the procedure? The procedure is one should accept the words of the Supreme Lord as they are presented in the Vedic literatures. That is the procedure. Through the Guru Parampara system, we have to learn. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. How do we learn? How do we test that somebody is a learned person? So-and-so is learned. How do you test or testify or justify? Acharyavan Purusho Veda. According to the Vedic understanding, one who is trained by an Acharya is considered to be learned. That's all. If you have undergone training under a bona fide spiritual master, you are learned. That's all. Just like even today, if you see, if you go to a university or a college or a recognized school and then you pass out, you are considered educated. Not that you are at home and then say, oh, I did my schooling, I did my degree, I did my post-graduation and you are considered learned. Nobody will consider such learning. Nobody will take such learning seriously if you do it at home. So if you say, I did 5.5 years medical course at my home, sir, nobody will take you as a serious doctor. You have to go to the university and certified by the university. So, therefore, Shastra say, Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jignasu Shreya Uttamam. So one must approach a spiritual master if one wants to become learned and not remain foolish. Just like if one does not want to remain foolish, one has to go to school and college and get educated. Otherwise, one will continue to remain foolish. We are born a fool, will continue to live like a fool and die like a fool if we don't get educated. So exactly like that, in the same similar fashion, Shastras say one has to get educated by the spiritual master. Therefore, approaching a spiritual master is a question of necessity, absolute necessity. It's not a question of choice. Just like going to school, going to college, is it a question of choice or option? It is not. One must go to school or college. There's no alternative. Similarly, one must approach a spiritual master. Of course, for what? Jignasuhu Shreya Uttamam. If there is spiritual thirst, spiritual hunger, if you want to know your spiritual identity, if you want to know spiritual dynamics, the mystery of spiritual life, the mystery of Bhagavad Gita, the mystery of the soul, the mystery of creation, the mystery of childbirth, the mystery of death, the mystery of growth, the mystery of karma, the mystery of destiny. Everything is a mystery in this world for a common man. Because he does not know, he's not educated. These mysteries are revealed in the Vedic literatures systematically. So one has to undergo education from a bona fide spiritual master in order to understand the mystery behind Krishna, behind soul, behind this creation, etc. Otherwise, one will never understand. Just like, because if you hear such things, oh, what is this? Drawing one child from one womb to another womb and then placing it, whether any operation happened, cutting and then inserting. Our logical brains think like that. None of those things. These are divine arrangements of Yoga Maya. Although the word Yoga Nidraya is used, when Rohini is sleeping, these things happen. So Prabhupada says Yoga Nidra means Yoga Maya, action of Yoga Maya, under the influence of Yoga Maya, under the influence of Yoga Maya, by the assistance of Yoga Maya. These transactions have taken place. Why Yoga Maya was called in for this? Because you cannot call a doctor and transfer one child from one womb to another womb. Any doctor can do that? Nobody can do that. Yoga Maya can do that. There was no cutting, there was no abortion, there's no stitching back. None of these abominable things took place. These were all transactions on the platform of Yoga Maya. Transcendental activity, dynamics, transcendental transactions. You can just see Balarama's appearance. Sankarshana, the Moola Sankarshana is actually Balaram. Balarama's appearance, Krishna's appearance are all transcendental. Transcendentally arranged by Yoga Maya under the direct order of Krishna, the supreme mystic. And his mystical power deployed in the form of Yoga Maya. So unless one has also awakened his spiritual consciousness to the platform of Yoga Maya platform, unless you come to Yoga Maya platform, you cannot understand these transactions. If you're in the platform of Mahamaya, you can never understand these transactions of what is described in Bhagavatam or in Bhagavad Gita. Just like in Bhagavatam, even in Christianity, Prabhupada says, let there be creation, God said, and creation came. In Bhagavatam, we have in the second canto, the Lord glanced, Sa Aikshata, Astrijata, Sa Imal Lokan, Yata Imani Bhutani Jayante. In the Vedas, it is said, the Lord just glanced and creation came. Creation happened. The Lord just glanced on Prakriti or material nature, and material nature was agitated, and all the living beings took their birth. Just like the husband agitates the wife. And that's called pregnancy. And therefore, there is childbirth. Like that, the Lord also agitated material nature, not by physical union, but by a glance. The Lord is omnipotent. How can you conceive this? No, you can look at your wife, she'll become pregnant. Prabhupada asked this in one lecture. You can look at your wife and she'll become pregnant? Not possible. The Lord can glance over material nature and create pregnancy. This can be a mystery for the medical medical practitioners, and they will never solve this mystery for eternity. They have to come to the platform of Yoga Maya to understand this. Otherwise, you will never understand. Many, many such things are there. Just like if you want to understand uh, how a medicine works, how this operation takes place, so many complex operations are there. Unless you become a doctor, understand the medical terminologies, and work under a doctor, how will you understand how this operation is happening? The doctor says so many things. You will not understand anything. He'll just give a medicine. He'll say, take and go. That's all, that much we can do. If he starts explaining how this medicine is going to take effect in your body, how it is going to cure your disease, technically, if he starts explaining, you will not understand anything. You may wonder, there is some disease, there is a medicine. What is the correlation between these two? Now, to understand that, you have to be a doctor. We have some steel rod outside. They place some steel rods inside also. We do that, and how it is taken care to be placed very carefully, that the body accepts it. These are all very, technical things, and you and I cannot understand. You have to be a doctor. You have to do MD, MS. Simply with no base, if you start questioning this, that, there is no meaning. So like that, how this can happen? The Yogamaya can transfer the child from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb. That is the transcendental dynamics, spiritual potencies. So that is why, unless one comes to spiritual platform and gains spiritual knowledge and becomes an expert in spiritual life, one cannot understand these things. One has to become a devotee to appreciate. My Lord always does something wonderful. That's all. That is enough for a devotee. How he does, nobody can conceive. You cannot put a graph or a logic, because next time it will be in another way, not the same way. You try to create a procedure. Of course, in medical field, they'll make off an SOP immediately, and it can be replicated. But Krishna's case, Yogamaya's case, it is not such case. It is not such a case. Every time, something different. Lord is always mystical. You cannot understand. Therefore, it is said, even the Lord's devotees' moves cannot be understood. Therefore, it is said, Vaishnavera kriya mudra vigneha na bujaya. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu veda na kaschana. The Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna has said that I know everything, I understand everything, but me nobody knows. Krishna has made that statement. Similarly, about the Vaishnava, it is said that the moves of a Vaishnava, nobody understands. Why he did this, why he did that, you cannot understand. These are transcendental dynamics. Now, one important point Prabhupada explains in the purport is about Yoga Nidra. Very interesting. The word Yoga Nidra is significant. When one is spiritually reconnected through self-realization, one regards his material life as having been like a dream. What is this platform called Yoga Nidra? Yoga Nidra means a state of spiritual slumber. When one is spiritually awakened to self-realization, he is said to be in Yoga Nidra. See, interesting definition. When one has awakened his self, he is in the state of Yoga Nidra. Generally, within Yoga Nidra, the Lord is actually in his Shayana Rupa, and Vishrama, he is resting. Of course, we do understand that he is still awake, but actually, Yoga Nidra means one who is always alert in spiritual life. Avyartha kalatvam. And he ensures that even a moment of time does not pass without executing Krishna consciousness. Even a moment of time does not pass because it is actually a state of realization. Theoretically, I may tell, but if you have to feel, you have we then we if we have to feel, we have to elevate our consciousness. Otherwise, we cannot appreciate. Very, very alert. Even a moment he cannot see getting wasted. Cannot. He considers it as a great loss. Forgetting Krishna for a moment, he'll consider it as a very, very great loss. Now, how do I explain this? And in contrast, there are who are called as Nitya Baddhas, eternally they are forgetful of Krishna. And it is okay. It is okay. How do you explain this? They're in Maya, influence of Mahamaya. But when you're the influence of Yoga Maya, it is like death. Can the body continue to exist even for a split second without the presence of the soul? Not possible. Instant death. What is death? Actually, death is defined by the understanding when the soul quits the body. Similarly, the devotee of the Lord feels that he is actually dead without remembering Krishna, being away from Krishna, being disconnected from Krishna, even for a split second. Forget split second and nanosecond, whatever. Cannot be disconnected, basically. That's all. Cannot be disconnected. He cannot imagine being disconnected from the Lord. Imagine a child in the mother's womb. If it is disconnected, what will happen? The child will be born dead, right? That's all. There's no discussion here. That's all. The child is born dead. Actually, that is a fact. Similarly, the Shastras, the Vedas explain if we are disconnected from the Lord, we are dead spiritually. That state is called uh, Jiva Bhuta state, as opposed to what is called as Brahma Bhuta state. Krishna uses these two terms in the Bhagavad Gita. Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Yayedam Dharyate Jagat. We are present in the state of Jiva Bhuta, disconnected from the Lord. Of course, there are different living beings disconnected to different degrees. To the degree you're disconnected, you are in that mode. Either Sattva-guna, Tamoguna, or Rajoguna. If you're thoroughly disconnected, you are in Tamoguna. Prabhupada explains that in the Bhagavad Gita. But if we are little wakeful, then by good association, that consciousness of Krishna can be fully awakened. So that platform is Sattva-guna. And that body is called human body, which gives an opportunity for awakening our original sense of Krishna consciousness and come to the Brahma Bhuta state, revive our Brahma Bhuta state of natural Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Chaitanya Charitamrita declares, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunai, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaye Uday. So this Krishna consciousness, which the Krishna consciousness movement is teaching, Srila Prabhupada taught everyone, is the natural state of being of the soul. It is not an artificial imposition. It is not that we are making somebody Krishna conscious. We are making our followers, increasing our followership. Whether you come to ISKCON or not, whether you come to Krishna consciousness or not, the soul is essentially, intrinsically Krishna conscious. Intrinsically, constitutionally Krishna conscious. This is an eternal fact. Sanatanaha. Therefore, Krishna used the word in the Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter. Mama Amsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. Eternally, this is a fact. It is not that because you have come to Vaishnavas, and sometimes these arguments are all going on. Oh, okay. You're going to ISKCON, that means Krishna temple. That means Vaishnavas, you're associating with them. Nothing to do with that. Constitutionally, what the soul is. That is what is being discussed in the Shastra. Constitutionally, intrinsically, the soul is Krishna conscious. You may agree, disagree. You may believe, disbelieve. It has nothing to do with the agreement and belief systems. It is a fact. So to the degree the soul is covered by the Avarnatmika Shakti of Maya Devi, we are forgetful of Krishna. And to the degree the Avarnatmika Shakti or the covering potency of Maya is less, you are awakened to Krishna consciousness to that degree. Therefore, Krishna consciousness is the scientific process of reawakening the soul to its original Krishna conscious state. Just like Prabhupada says, when somebody is sleeping, he forgets his identity. Is it not? When somebody is sleeping, we all sleep every day, right? We forget what we are when we sleep. I may be a prime minister, but when I'm sleeping, am I sleeping? Oh, I am prime minister sleeping on the bed now. He does not know that he's a prime minister. Or a dog is sleeping on the street. And dog is not thinking, oh, I'm a dog sleeping on the street. No. Neither the prime minister, the soul of the prime minister is aware that he's a prime minister when he's sleeping. He goes into ignorance. He goes into the state of ignorance. The dog also goes into the state of ignorance. When you wake up, immediately that consciousness is revived. Oh, I'm prime minister. I'm a family man. I'm a businessman. I'm a male. I'm an Indian. Whatever your identity is. I'm a student. I'm a husband. So whatever your identity is recovered, revived from the previous day. That is Krishna's kripa. Of Krishna giving you smriti. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. How kind Krishna is. Imagine yesterday's you forget what it is. Finished, no? Can you relate in your life? If you forget what is yesterday, can you relate in your life? Suppose you are the husband of a certain girl. You forget that I'm your husband, and tomorrow you see, who are you? And they ask, why you have come to my house? Any work? So the wife, she'll be looking, she'll be surprised. Is it not? Suppose you're working in a company and then you forget that you are so and so in the company. Suppose you are the chairman of the company and then you forget you're the chairman of the company. And the next day, boss didn't come and then they give a call, sir, any engagement for you today? Who are you? Why did you call me? Just like a stranger calls, you tell, right? Who are you? Why did you call me? What's the purpose? If the boss says of his own company, who is this? Sir, I'm your secretary. Who's secretary? Who was appointed? When did I appoint? I mean, how much trauma will be there? Tragedy will be there. Disaster, right? Krishna's kripa. He's giving you that memory. Your husband, your wife, your son, you are this, you are that. Krishna's kripa. Even if you're a husband or a father, it is Krishna's kripa, one should remember. By Krishna's grace, you are father. By Krishna's grace, you are mother. By Krishna's grace, you are a president. By Krishna's grace, you are a prime minister. By Krishna's grace, you are this, you are that. Anyway, coming back to this example, normal life can proceed only if you revive your memory of the past. Otherwise, it's not possible. And then you continue when you wake up. But so long you don't wake up, your dream continues. Your actual life is suspended. Correct? Your actual life is suspended. So long you are sleeping on the bed, dreaming and continuing to dream, extending the dream, you are not in line with reality. Is it not? And then in the dream, you have a parallel life. It is called parallel life in the dream. But that's not reality. It is to wake up. So, this is called Supto Hita Nyaya. Supta Utitha Nyaya, the logic of awakening from sleep. So, what does this logic explain? This logic says, Supta Utitha. Supta means sleeping. Utitha means Uttishta, to wake up. In Hindi we say Utho. It's coming from the Sanskrit word Uttitha. Jagrita is another word. So to wake up. When you wake up, then you know, oh, it's time up for school. I have to rush to my school. And you're simply nicely sleeping in the dream. And dreaming nicely. Sleeping and dreaming nicely. So the mother has to come and wake you up. Then you get up. Oh, it's time up. Exactly like that. Veda Mata. When you contact Vedic literature, like the mother coming and waking you up, when you study Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, you wake up to spiritual consciousness, to Krishna consciousness. I'm servant of Krishna. What am I doing here? How have I forgotten? I have to rush. Therefore, avyartha kalatvam. The more you have delayed, just like 8 o'clock is the school. And 7:30 you're getting up. Imagine the anxiety you have. You have to rush, brush your teeth, take your bath and put on your school uniform, take breakfast, or probably, just snatch the breakfast box and run to the school. Stand up. 8 o'clock the bell will ring. You have to be there. In early days, we had a system. At least in my school, I had a system. You are late 5 minutes, the gate will not be opened. Your mother has to come, your father has to come and meet the principal for the gate to open. Once it happened to me. Of course, my mother and father needn't have to come, but forget the principal teacher telling the watchman warned me. Be careful, he said. So if you're late means then today I'm allowing you because it was 4 minutes or something. I very consciously remember this instance. Tomorrow if you're late means you have to get your father, he said. So that sent one. So like that. The more we delay practicing Krishna consciousness and chanting and reading and associating with devotees, more the pressure will build up. You will be late to self-realization. The gate to self-realization may get closed. Just as the gate to education gets closed, the watchman is not going to allow you. So Kala gives you an opportunity to take up Krishna consciousness in human life. But when the Kala puts an end, called death, finished. No more opportunity. Finished. So, as we're aging, actually the pressure should build up. That is why Prahlad Maharaj says, instead of building up the pressure, just like you go 15 minutes early, no anxiety, right? Go 15 minutes early, go half an hour early. What is the problem? Nobody's going to stop you. What is the problem? So, Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumara Achret Pragno, comfortably, peacefully practice Krishna consciousness from childhood. From very young age. At the age of 5, one should begin this consciousness of Krishna. Because it takes time. It is a great art. Bhakti is a kala. The greatest and the finest art. It is not easy. Just like handwriting is a great art. Everybody's handwriting is not so good. It's an art. Painting, drawing is an art. You can see these paintings. Goloka class paintings they are. Not world class. Goloka class, G class paintings they are. It's an art. You and I will try, it will be horrible. Maybe some of you are good artists, but I'm just saying, just try to understand the spirit. So Krishna consciousness is the highest and the finest art. It takes time. It is not a gross activity. It is a very fine art of satisfying Krishna. How to satisfy Krishna? Not easy. Just like bigger the person, difficult to satisfy him and to handle that person. Not easy. Senior the person, bigger the person, mature the person, important the person, it becomes even more challenging to handle, to relate, to associate with him. You have to be very careful in your dealings, in your speech, in your move, in your thought, what you're going to speak. You see? Not easy. That you can appreciate. Just that your friend comes, it's one thing. Prime Minister walks into your house, it is another thing. Not the same. Maybe you're in casual wear at your home, that's okay. Maybe you're sleeping on the sofa when your friend came, that's okay. But it's not okay when the Prime Minister walks into your home. A lot of protocols are there. And when your friend comes, maybe you can just give a plate, hey, Haribol, take snacks. That's okay. It's not going to be as simple to serve the Prime Minister like that. So, what I'm trying to say is, it's not easy to relate or associate with a big man. And also not easy to satisfy. They're not small persons. We are talking about the Parama Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not easy. How to satisfy Krishna? What satisfies Krishna? Now, to satisfy a person, if you give something what he likes, you satisfy him. You give your friend some mobile, maybe, some gift, he's happy. What is it that can give Krishna that Krishna can be satisfied? He owns all the worlds. And all the devatas are at his command. They are nothing in front of him. So, what is it that Krishna is lacking? And what is it that if I give, Krishna will become happy and satisfied? Not an easy thing. Therefore, the gopis and Radharani are the best because they know exactly how to satisfy Krishna to the maximum. To the maximum, they know. They know the mind of Krishna. They know the heart of Krishna. How to satisfy Krishna? What satisfies Bhagavan? They know. And Radharani excels every devotee in this regard. Therefore, she is the topmost devotee. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come in the mood of Srimati Radharani to experience that mood of Radharani. How she is the best servitor of the Lord, how she is the best worshipper of the Lord, how she knows the best how to satisfy Krishna. Even Krishna wanted to understand those dynamics and secrets and transcendental dealings and thoughts process of Radharani. What she is thinking, how she is thinking, how she is planning to satisfy me. Even Krishna was inspired and impressed to understand. And therefore he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, assuming the mood of Srimati Radharani. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very special. So therefore we coming in the Sampradaya of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very, very fortunate because in this Sampradaya, those spiritual techniques and moods are revealed. That is very special about Chaitanya Sampradaya. What is the mood of the best devotee of Krishna? What is the methodology applied by the best devotee of Krishna to satisfy Krishna? We have those details in our Sampradaya, in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. It's very, very special. So coming back to this discussion, so Yoga Nidra, when one is spiritually awakened to that Krishna conscious state. Supto hitanyaya. When, just like when the child wakes up from dream and sleep state, he understands, oh, I have to go to school, I have to go to college, whatever the case may be. Similarly, when we wake up to spiritual life or Krishna consciousness, then and then only we can understand we are spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna. My duty is to serve Krishna and nothing else. That's all. And my connection to Krishna gets established. So that's what Prabhupada says here. When one is spiritually reconnected through self-realization, one regards his material life as having been like a dream. So this entire material life is more or less a dream from the spiritual perspective, from the spirit soul, from the spiritual world's perspective, from Krishna's perspective, from Mahavishnu's perspective. We have to see from their perspective, not from our perspective. Otherwise, you will never get the real picture. Because you are sleeping. When you are sleeping, are you aware you are sleeping? This is another point. When you are sleeping, are you aware you are sleeping? No. If you're aware you're sleeping, you are not sleeping. So when a pure devotee sleeps, when Krishna sleeps, that's called Yoga Nidra, because they are not sleeping. They're always alert in spiritual platform, in their spiritual identity. They're always alert. Huh? So when we are spiritually alert, then we are in the state of Yoga Nidra, influenced, brought about by Yoga Maya. And this is, so this, the technical process of awakening from this sleep of material life is called Krishna consciousness. The science of awakening is the process of Krishna consciousness. It's a great science. As simple as the mother wakes you up, similarly the way the mother wakes you up. Sometimes the mother wakes us up, we don't get up. Father has to be brought in. Father comes 100%, you have to wake up, isn't it? So the spiritual master, when you connect with the spiritual master, he will wake you up. That is called Diksha Vidhana. Spiritual initiation. It's called initiation. He's initiating you into, it's called spiritual initiation. He's initiating you into spiritual life. That's why it's called spiritual initiation. Diksha Vidhana. He wakes you up to spiritual reality, to your eternal connection with Krishna. When you contact a bona fide spiritual master, the result is you will become Krishna conscious. If you not become, you have not contacted bona fide spiritual master. How do you know whether I have contacted a bona fide spiritual master or not? This is a big question. You will know if you have awakened your Krishna consciousness, you have contacted a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, not. So, many times we may wonder how much time it will take to awaken this sense of Krishna consciousness. This purely depends on what factor? Is it my sadhana, my tapasya, my reading of the Vedic literatures? No. No. This awakening happens only when one thing happens in your life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has revealed this in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That's why Chaitanya Charitamrita is a very, very important literature, because Chaitanya Charitamrita highlights many, many such important secrets and techniques and instructions. In the entirety of Vedas, Chaitanya Charitamrita stands supreme because it's very specific, very pointed. And if you follow what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructed in Chaitanya Charitamrita, your awakening is almost instant. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kaya, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Haya. Lava means 8 by 45th of a second. Not even a second. 8 by 45th of a second is the measurement of time called lava. So basically, the spirit in this statement of using the word lava is even a moment's association with a pure devotee of Krishna can instantly reawaken, rekindle your lost sense of Krishna consciousness. That is why Prabhupada uses the word reawakening, reviving. See, these words are very important. Acharyas, Prabhupada, when he uses every word has deep meaning and specific purpose of those utterances. Unless we read so deeply and thoroughly, you will not appreciate Vedic literature in the form of Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Reawakening. It is not awakening. You're not awakening to spiritual reality. You are reawakening, reviving your Krishna consciousness. That means it is already there. You've forgotten. Just like yesterday, what it is you forget when you sleep, when you wake up, you get to know. Exactly like that. In the temporary state of sleep called Maya state, we forget Krishna and Krishna's connection. And when the spiritual master wakes you up to spiritual reality, you get connected with Krishna and Krishna consciousness. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is stressing the point. Therefore, he has uttered the word sadhu sangha 3 times. Sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha. Here, sadhu refers to a pure devotee of Krishna who has the potency to wake up the soul, to spiritual reality. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jeev jago, Gora Chandra bole, Kota nidha javamaya pishachira kole. So, wake up, you sleeping souls. Wake up to spiritual reality. You have forgotten Krishna, your eternal relative, your eternal beloved lover, eternal father. You've forgotten. Wake up to spiritual reality. You are sleeping on the lap of Maya, called material nature, and thinking everything is comfortable. Pishachira kole. Suppose you're sleeping in a mother's lap. When you wake up, you see a witch there. Oh my God, who's this? You get horrified, right? You get horrified. Oh my God, this is a witch. Death is certain any moment. So similarly, in the lap of material nature, the death of spiritual life is certain and it is already executed. How it is executed? If you have forgotten Krishna, the operation is successful. Maya's operation is successful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, wake up, you sleeping souls, wake up. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to wake us up. And he's saying, Enechi aushadhi maya nashi barolagi. Harinama Mahamantra lavo tumi magi. I have brought the medicine of the Harinama directly. Sometimes we don't get medicine in India, right? So we import it from America, especially. It's very costly. 1 lakh rupee that medicine was. But your case is acute. What to do? It's only available in Canada. So especially got it imported in the flight it came. So like that, Lord Chaitanya is saying, I have brought this medicine of the holy name from Chaitanya Loka, from Krishna Loka, and delivering it to you. Please take it with all eagerness. And take this medicine of Harinam and become cured of the material disease of forgetfulness of Krishna. Forgetfulness of Krishna. So, this can happen instantly. In a moment, it can happen if you contact a pure devotee. This is what has happened to many, many devotees. But if you follow the Vedic procedure, there are so many people who are following Vedic procedures, chants, vratas, fasting. They have not awakened their Krishna consciousness. They're by and large ritualistic, attached to the rules. They have not awakened their sense of Krishna. Buddha bhava samanvitaha. Oh Krishna! That sense, that sense of intimacy, that sense of feeling Krishna. Like Prabhupada said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw Jagannath, oh Jagannath! He fell down, ecstasy. It's called bhava samanvitaha. You may ritualistically do the puja, ritualistically offer the food, ritualistically chant some mantras. Where is the consciousness? Mother is feeding a child. You think it's ritualistically? Ritualistically, she is feeding the child every day, morning breakfast, afternoon lunch, night dinner. ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೆಲಸ ಮುಗಿತಪ್ಪ. Okay, today my work is over. She doesn't do like that. She does with feeling. So that is called bhava samanvita. Originally, the soul has got that kind of bhava with the Lord. So bhakti is not a ritual. Chanting is not a ritual. Deity worship is not a ritual. Krishna consciousness is not a ritual. It is not academics, simply reading some shlokas. It is life. You feel. This is Prabhupada's contribution to this world. That he was able to give that sense of consciousness. See, consciousness means life. Otherwise, it is death, right? What distinguishes life from something which is dead? It is consciousness. So if we are not Krishna conscious, actually we are not living. We're actually dead spiritually. That sense of Krishna consciousness, otherwise simply reading Vedas, chanting mantras, doing some ahutis, this is not spiritual life. Where is the bhava samanvitaha in that? So that is important. These are details, secondary, not primary. I'll close with one last point in this regard. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu, vismartavyam yena jatuchit, sarve vidhi neshadasyat, etayoreva kinkara. This is the principle. And this is practiced in the Krishna consciousness movement. And Prabhupada was able to impart this to the jivas. Therefore, they all awakened their Krishna consciousness. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. How can you forget? There's nothing like discussing these points. Like, can a mother ever forget the child? You don't have to coach the mother. Hey, you forgotten the child, huh? You forgotten the breakfast for the child? Impossibility. It is intrinsically connected. They both are kind of apparently bound up like that. Like that, you cannot forget Krishna. Krishna cannot forget you for a moment. Inseparable. Part and parcel. We're all. The jiva is inseparable, part and parcel of Krishna. And Krishna is inseparably connected with us. That's a great transcendental security the jiva can have. So, all the sarve vidhi neshadasyat, all the rules and regulations, rituals, etayor, eva kinkara. Etayor means it is used in plural sense. Etayor means two, not one. Something more than one is called etayoho. Because the first two statements are that remember Krishna. The second one is don't forget. Actually, both are same. But anyway, there's a distinction. Positively also, negatively also, both statements are used in grammar. You should remember Krishna. And all the details, rules, regulations, vidhi is meant to make you remember Krishna. And if you forget Krishna, the essence, what is the use of your ritual and detail and mantra? They're servants, kinkaraha, servants of remembering Krishna. Therefore, even if you don't do the ritual, that bhava is there, that is enough. Krishna will understand. So, therefore, so Prabhupada explains here that the state of yoga nidra is accomplished by, it's actually yoga maya. When you awaken to spiritual reality, spiritual consciousness, when you awaken your Krishna consciousness, that is the state of yoga nidra. And the process to awaken is Krishna consciousness. Shravana adi shuddha chitte karaye udai. By chanting, reading, associating with devotees, you awaken this Krishna consciousness, which is natural to the soul. We'll stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय. So we're very fortunate.